Hello and welcome to another Modern Horizons 3 video. And I am now freshly moved in to our new home. We're just leasing, but it's the biggest place we've ever lived. It's a nice 4-bedroom place in Summerlin, Las Vegas, Nevada. And we're like 60% of the way moved in, and it's been a very stressful week. We kind of drove in, it's been a few days of just coordinating everything, but now I feel like my office is somewhat set up here, and I am ready to go. However, before this draft fires, I did want to say this video is of course brought to you by a couple of sponsors. The first one being tcgplayer.com. tcgplayer.com is your trusted source for all trading card games in the United States of America. You can search for the latest TCG singles and sealed products from hobby shops across the country from the comfort of your own home. You can, for those of you who are international, you can also get sealed product shipped across the world. So we have everybody covered. Check out, if you want to purchase things through TCG Player, make sure you check out the affiliate link in the description below. Additionally, if you are in the market for premium Magic the Gathering and TCG supplies, heavyplay.com is the place to go. heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first purchase. Of course, again, if you want to pick up premium deck boxes, sleeves, dice boxes, etc., heavyplay.com is the place to go. Okay. Oh man. Admittedly, it's been like 4 or 5 days since I've drafted, so I do feel a little rusty. All right, what do I want here? There's a worm coil larva in the pack. See, there you go. I just realized that I had the entire thing in full camera mode. So we're gonna do that intro full camera mode. Not that it matters, because now you get to see the pack. Oh man. The rust definitely here. Maybe I should just do that moving forward, right? Just do the full camera until we go to the video. Anyways, I think I'm going to take Bridgeworks Battle here. Spell lands are obviously great. Wormcoil Larva is the other consideration. I think they're similar in power level, but of course, obviously much better to start with a spell land that's also green than take something like a Wormcoil Larva. Snapping Voidcraw is okay if you're looking to do the ramp thing. Eviscerator's Insight is okay if you're a blue-black sacrifice. The draw 2 cards deck. Cyclops Superconductor is also, of course, totally fine, but let's start things off with Bridgeworks Battle and see where the rest of the packs take us. Moving to this pack, we have Hopeender Coatl, which is quite strong. I do like it more than Ether Spike or Inspired Inventor. I do think I like it more than the Riddlegate Gargoyle, just based on the fact that we took a Bridgeworks Battle first pick. So the question here becomes, do I like Hopeender Coatl over Lethal Throwdown and Drowner of Truth? And I do think it's kind of close between these two. If I end up going kind of the Eldrazi route, the Drowner of Truth's better. But if I do end up pivoting out of green, then the Hopeender Coatl is also interesting in just any of the other decks. Now, of course, if I do end up not Eldrazi, this card's much less good. You know, I'm going to take the Coatl. It's just a very, very solid 3-drop, and it just adds a new dimension to the way the games play out. So let's try this out here and kind of see where things go. Moving on, we have Fanged Flames as a decent removal spell. Of course, that introduces a third color to what we have. We have Strength of the Harvest, which is a decent spell land. We have Thraben Charm, which is just a very, very solid removal spell. I would say it's pretty close to Fanged Flames in terms of power level. And then we have Unfathomable Truths, which kind of keeps us in blue. And I do think this card is very good and has continued to go up in my rankings for blue cards. And I do think I'm going to take it here. Just go with a Coatl into Unfathomable Flames. Try to cut off the blue if we can. Fanged Flames and Strength of the Harvest is also fine. But I just really, really think this card is very, very powerful. And probably should be taken a little bit higher than it currently is. All right, this pack is absolutely loaded. We have Flare of Malice, which is a really solid removal spell. We have Savine's Reclamation, which is just a really, really nice way to buy things back from the graveyard. Conduit Goblin's great, but of course not really good with what we have so far. But I am considering Breaker of Creation as well as a nice little big creature to ramp into. And then there's also Nightshade Dryad, which is a premium ramp creature. Probably like it more than Breaker of Creation, honestly. So the question is, do I want to go into blue-green, or do I want to take the Flare of Malice and perhaps try to move it into a blue-black deck? I'm going to take the Malice. I'm going to take the Malice here just because I haven't drafted the blue-black deck as much, and I want to try it out. green tends to be a little bit overdrafted, and boom, look, we have another Flare of Malice. This is just a really, really, really solid removal spell, mostly because it gives you the out of sacrificing non-token black creatures. So sacrificing Razorlash Transmogrants is a really, really nice thing to do. So gonna slam another Flare of Malice, and we are set up pretty nicely here for a blue-black deck. And it's really nice that we're seeing cards like Tempest Harvester, Battle Wagon, and Insight, which tells us that there's a pretty solid chance that blue-black could be an open color combination. I mean, Flare of Malice 5th pick could also be a sign. So really, really happy with what we have here so far. Bridgeworks Battle likely not going to make its way in. We'll note that energy cards also seems to be available. Conduit, Goblin, and Static Prison both in the pack here, but definitely not really great with what we have so far. There's a Hydroelectric Specimen, which is just a fine card to play in any blue-black deck. And then there's also a Blood-Soaked Insight. I think in blue-black, I prefer the Specimen just because it can come into play untapped. This is a tap land. So yeah, why don't we just take the Specimen here, noting that we are seeing some energy cards, but it's really, really hard to make the pivot into energy after taking 5 cards here that really don't go into energy at all. Static Prison would be the only thing to consider if I wanted to shift into blue-white energy, but let's just try staying the course here and see what's available. Noting that we are seeing a bunch of the white aggro cards here. There's a Mandibular Kite and also a Thraben Charm in this pack. Black seems to be drying up here outside of the Flare of Malices. There is a Contaminated Landscape that does go well as just a blue-black dual land, especially because we have the Flare of Malice. So I do think I'm just going to continue down this route and just ignore all the white cards, okay? I'm just going to ignore all of the white cards and just take only the blue and black cards and kind of see where that leads us. That's Elite Disciple of Frey Elites. Copy Crook is okay, but I'm kind of really looking at one of these 2 cards, a Petrifying Meddler and Unfathomable Truths. And I do think I prefer the Unfathomable Truths. I think it's really, really important to get 2 to 3 copies of really, really high-end card draw. And I do think Unfathomable Truths belongs in that category. Okay, here we have an Archway of Innovation, but I'm not really improvising, so this doesn't really do much for me. I'm going to look at a land that lets me potentially splash. So if I'm blue-black, can I potentially splash red? I don't actually know what the color I'm most likely to splash here is. I guess I have white, so I guess they both give me white. I'm going to do this because it gives me access to the removal colors. So let's do this and move on. Riddlegate Gargoyle. Wow. 10th pick, so blue-white energy could certainly be something that we're interested in, but I'm going to take Ether Spike. It's just a nice, cheap, interactive blue card to put into the deck. Black does seem to be kind of cut off. Perhaps blue-white is where we need to be, but I'm going to take the Ether Spike to just give us the option of going down that route a little bit later down the line here. Nothing here for us. I guess I'll take Rose-Caught Knight if I do end up in blue-white, and I'll take a Wing It. And yeah, black definitely seems to be getting cut off here. Conduit, oh my gosh. Why am I getting Conduit Goblin last pick? What are you doing, everybody? Everybody, I have a question for you all. What gives? So we have the choice here between, I think, Waterlogged Teachings and Deep Analysis. Amphibian Downpour is also okay, but generally in blue-black, I tend to like to play Accursed Marauders. So I think it's between one of those 2. I'm going to take Waterlogged Teachings here. I already have 2 copies of Unfathomable Truths. I'm going to want to pick up Eviscerator's Insight, and I do have a couple of Flare of Malices. I have some really nice cards to get here with the Teachings, and it acts as a blue-black dual land, which I really, really like after what we have so far. So blue-black here so far, and now we have, wow, that's a Detective's Phoenix, which we can't take, but I guess I'll take a Fell the Profane here over Eviscerator's Insight, another excellent spell land. Always want to pick up at least 1 copy of this card in general, but don't think I need to take it here, and I will take Fell the Profane and just continue taking the spell lands. Although I really do need to find cheap things to do here. We have the Ether Spike on 2 and the Coatl, but we have a lot of expensive stuff. So hopefully we can find things to lower our mana curve. Nothing here that I want that lowers the mana curve. I might just take another Unfathomable Truths. I don't really like Electrozoa and blue-black, and I think Crick is wildly unplayable. So I guess I'll take Unfathomable Truths number 3 now. We are good on top end. So let us focus on the cheap end of our mana curve. So don't need the Eviscerator's Insight. We're not even picking up any of the creatures here. Still seeing a bunch of white cards. I will take the Ether Spike. Maybe we end up almost a mono-blue type control deck with a bunch of removal spells. No black card in sight. Did we pass black cards? What is happening? All right, well, I'll take the hydroelectric specimen and move on from here. I guess we only have 3 black cards, but I don't know. I guess. This is rough. Is blue-black the new thing everybody's trying to draft? Well, we're not seeing a bunch of green from this either. And like I said, we got a 3rd and 4th pick Flare of Malice. I think this is a good removal spell. It's not that great if you just pay the full 4, but if you can find Sneaky Snackers, for example, to sacrifice, because Sneaky Snackers are nice ways to get, are easy enough to get back in this strategy. Let's put the Ether Spike on too, just so my curve doesn't look so embarrassing. Okay, well, at least that's another creature. That's my 2nd creature, by the way. That's another Unfathomable Truths. No black cards in sight. Mono blue, let's do it. Oh, Demon Inferior is phenomenal. That's Elite Glaring Fleshraker. Malevolent Rumble is also great, but Demon Inferior is fantastic in blue-black. Just because with the card draw, like casting Unfathomable Truths and then spending 1 blue to cast Demon Inferior is amazing. And now we got a Sneaky Snacker 8th. All right, we are getting the hookups in Pack 2. We will see what happens in Pack 3, but very, very happy to pick up the Sneaky Snacker here. And what does that put us at in terms of playable cards? Because these are all lands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. Okay, well, I'm going to take the Dream Drinker Vampire just because this deck certainly needs another 2-drop. And that's an Eviscerator's Insight. Wow, I guess blue-white was where we needed to be. Yeah, blue-white. Why do people still not like drafting energy? I draft energy all the time. It's great. I think most of my trophies come from drafting energy decks. But anyways, I'll take a blue-black landscape here. I don't think Tamiyo Meets the Story Circle is particularly good. So I'll just take another blue-black land. Just because I have the double Flare of Malice, it's kind of important to hit your colors. So I do feel nice that I have 2 blue-black tap lands. My mana is going to look very, very good. And because we have 4 spell lands, we can play 18, possibly even 19 lands if necessary. And it's not really going to hurt. Oh, there we go. Yes. Yes. We needed some power in this deck. We needed a finisher. And honestly, most blue-black trophy decks wants this one. This is the, I believe, the best black rare. Let me just look up the number real quick. What's the best card in blue-black? Survey says Crabomination at 67.5% games in hand win rate. This card is absolutely ridiculous. You don't need to emerge. You play this for 6 mana and you win the game in a lot of instances. So let's slam that. Very, very happy to pick up Crabomination. And can we keep it going? Wow, Titan's Vanguard, fantastic. Spymaster's Vault is also okay. For me, though, it's between Waterlogged Teachings and Scurrilous Sentry. Do we need creatures? I think I do. I'm pretty heavy on spells, and I'm pretty light on ways to win. I do think Waterlogged Teachings is a better card, but I already have one, and I have 2 blue-black landscapes, and I just need creatures for my curve. So I'm going to take the Scurrilous Sentry here, recognizing that it is a weaker card in general, but I think it is more important for my deck. Here we have the choice between, ooh, we have a lot of interesting ones. We have Refurbished Familiar, which isn't that insane because we have no artifacts. We have another 2-drop. I don't like the Ethereum Terramander here. And there's also Consuming Corruption. There's also Reefworm. And I do have Eviscerator's Insight. There's also this removal. I don't know. I only have this 1 sacrifice effect. You know, I'm going to take this because I'm still lacking cheap things to do. And I feel like I'm going to want just extra cheap removal to go with all my Unfathomable Truths. So I'm going to take the Consuming Corruption there. And yeah, now I'm going to take Royal Cartographer. Just a nice another 2-drop to have. Look at all the energy cards. 4th pick, Scurry of Gremlins, Conduit Goblin. I mean, look, I'm trying to make different videos here. The format's been out a month now. I've been scurrying so much. Please appreciate that I'm trying to do something a little different, right? Instead of just yelling at me at the comments. There's only so much my tender little heart can take. Okay, moving on. We have 0 blue and black cards. There's only so much my heart can take of these packs. What is there something I can splash? I guess I can splash Reiterating Bolt. I don't think I'm Vexing Bobbling. All right, we'll take the Bolt, I guess. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17. All right, we still need to pick up quite a few playables. We still do. Come on, blue and black cards. All right, let's go Ether Spike. I do like that more than the Dream Drinker Vampire. It's, man, crazy that I haven't seen a single Breathe Your Last, Wither and Bloom, or a Curse Marauder, right? Not a single one. Yes, I should have been blue-white. Yes, I know. But I will take another Ether Spike here. I think that's better over the Vampire, and now we'll take the Accursed Marauder. Great. Just another cheap interactive spell. Very, very happy to pick that up. And now... I was talking about how I didn't pick up Accursed Marauders and Wither and Bloom, and we got one 7th and 8th pick. That is incredible. Oh, perfect. Okay, now I have 3 Ether Spikes. I do want another big creature, so I will take the Petrifying Meddler here that tabled. Gives us another just random expensive thing to try to win the game with. So this deck is coming together very, very nicely here. Wow, Mandibular Kite 10th pick should not happen. I don't need another landscape. I already have 2, so I'll take Utter Insignificance. I generally don't like it very much, though. I think I'm just going to play this Refurbished Familiar instead, just because I don't like playing Utter Insignificance in a deck that has a Cursed Marauder in general. Conduit Goblin, criminally late. Very sad. If the Reform tables with double Eviscerator's Insight, that's a thing, right? That is a thing. Definitely don't need Sage of the Unknowable. Probably just playing like one of these tops. I don't think my deck is awesome. I don't think my deck is an awesome Eviscerator's Insight deck, so I think 1 is maybe okay because I have the Sneaky Snackers, but I just don't have a ton of fodder. There's the Utter Insignificance and Eviscerator's Insight as the other options here, and let's clean this up real quick. All right, this is the deck that I have laid out, and I think I'm pretty happy with it. We have 7 things to do on 2. We have Triple Ether Spike, Cartographer, Marauder, Dreamdrinker Vampire, Sneaky Snacker. Our win condition is mostly Crabomination and card advantage, I guess. We have Hopeender Coatl ×2 and Sneaky Snacker and Refurbished Familiar, so we can actually fly over for the win and try to just... We have several interactive spells, we have a bunch of removal spells, and then a bunch of card draw to kind of just... This is just a classic blue-black control deck, and I will say, 3 Ether Spikes and 2 Hopeender Coatls. These are going to either do nothing against Eldrazi ramp decks, or they're going to put my opponent on absolute tilt. We're playing 18 lands here, could see potentially playing 19, and maybe cutting Eviscerator's Insight, but I'm going to be greedy. It can't be too bad to play 18 lands, so let's give this a shot and head into our draft and try to climb out of Plat 4. Now, before the round 1 starts, I did want to say, if you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, I do have a Patreon channel. Patreon.com/paulcheon gives you access to my Discord channel, among a bunch of other benefits. Access to the Discord gives you access to, I think, just a really, really great resource if you are looking to up your game in Limited Magic. There's just a lot of really devoted people looking to get it better at Limited, so join the community and check it out. Of course, shout out to all the current patrons. Thank you for your support. Gonna keep this hand. We have Wither and Bloom turn 2, and then Flare of Malice. We have Meddler and Unfathomable Truths. So definitely need to pick up some other colored sources. But I feel like we can go turn 2 Wither and Bloom into turn 4 Flare, and that should do a decent job of holding the fort here. We also have like 10 blue sources between all of our lands, so. Right, Nightshade Dryad, and definitely going to kill this. All right, Wither and Bloom, Nightshade Dryad down. Definitely want to slow them down here. Drew our blue source, which is fantastic. Emrakul's Messenger, very, very good card. Do I want to just kill it? Yeah, why not? Just kill everything and then just stabilize with Unfathomable Truths. Seems like an excellent plan here. Here we'll just play the Petrifying Meddler to stabilize. It also has Reach. And then if they play something bigger, we can use Flare of Malice. Excellent, excellent start here. Oh, interesting. They played their own Petrifying Meddler. Huh. I think I'm going to play Refurbished Familiar and then put a counter on it. And then if they kill it, I can Flare of Malice. But the other thing I can do is just trade with the Corrupted Shapeshifter. Okay. Interesting. They tap down the Familiar. We'll take 7 here. And then we have the Meddler here and Hydroelectric Specimen. I guess I'll keep that around. I guess I could have put a counter on the meddler. Because now we're not in a great spot. Interesting that they attack like that. I guess we'll block here. Cast this. I'm just trying to minimize the damage that I take. And they're trying to maximize the damage I take, I guess. And another corrupted shapeshifter, okay. More like a teamer mid-range deck here. Alright. Definitely gonna play the landscape. I don't think I'm gonna... Well, that's an interesting question. Do I sack it or not? Right? I think I can attack. Yeah, more than happy with that. Yeah, this is a great spot to be in. The reason why I was considering not sacrificing is because of Royal Elemental. Temperamental Oozewag. Huh. Can I counter it? I don't think I actually have a good way to counter this, so I'll just let it resolve. Cast Unfathomable Truths, get back into this. And yeah, let's actually just sack this for blue. Oh, and you know what? No, I should have sacked it for black. I have 2 blue and I have Consuming Corruption. Yeah. Yeah, that was a mistake. Oh my gosh. We kind of whiffed here, and Temperamental Oozewag's kind of going to be a problem. What do we do? Alright, well, we're just going to pass. And they have access to 7 mana. So, we're not going to be able to counter too many things here. Maybe we can. We'll let this resolve, and what we're going to do here, sadly, is we're going to play Hydroelectric... Well, hold on. So I guess we go Ether Spike into Haumph Coatl. It's not pretty, but it gets it done. They're gonna pay, obviously. All right, how are we gonna block? I think I want to kill the 6/6 Trampler here. So I'm just gonna block like this and chump here. And then they're gonna be able to kill my Meddler. So we're definitely in some trouble here. Do I want to just play out a Specimen as a 1/4? I think I do, just because I have 2. Alright, let's attack with the Flyer. Alright, Petrifying Meddler is definitely going to be a problem here. Gonna take this one. We have lots of card draw. Just need to find some action. Consuming Corruption would be great. Fell the Profane, also great. Let's do it on their upkeep, I guess. Alright, Haumph Coatl, can you go all the way? This is a nice target for Eviscerator's Insight too, by the way. Alright, Coatl. Ooh, another Flyer enters the fray. The sneakiest of snackers. Alright, Flyers. Is this Ether Spike gonna do something? Probably not. Ooh, there's a 4th color. Okay, okay. Oh, you know what? The second Ether Spike might do something. Right? That's 6 mana. It's a 2-for-1, but hey, when you're playing a deck with a bunch of I don't think I care about that. When you play a deck with a bunch of Unfathomable Truths, this is fine. Oh, Waterlogged Teachings is awesome. Waterlogged Teachings is absolutely awesome. We can get Unfathomable Truths and some other things. 3. Oh, Consuming Corruption is a great one to get. It's for 5. I don't think I care about Eviscerator's Insight. Actually, I can probably just get Unfathomable Truths. That's probably best. It would be best. It would be ideal if we could cast it, but... Alright, let's start things off with Eviscerator's Insight on Sneaky Snacker, as that's a nice little 1-2 punch. The Snacker just comes back. We get to draw some cards. Ooh, Consuming Corruption. Don't mind if I do. Let's play a Dream Drinker Vampire. And we still have access to a Consuming Corruption for 5 and Ether Spike. So looking pretty good. Our opponent at 2. This doesn't go to the face, right? Okay. Just making sure. So what's the worst case scenario? Like Marionette Apprentice? Even if they play Marionette Apprentice, we can just kill the Soul Trader in response. Flare of Cultivation is fine. They just get 2 lands. All right. Got it done. Got it done. I don't think I have not played Corrupted Corruption very often. Usually that means you're kind of light on a few playables. But blue-black, kill some things, counter some things, draw some cards. The classic. Okay. Off to a good start. It's great. First win in our new house. Hopefully, I love this place. I'm just gonna say, our last apartment was a 1,200 square foot, and now this is a 4-bedroom, 1,900 square foot house. So it's just so much more roomy, and with 2 kids, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. All right, round number 2. We have great opener here. I feel like I should just get swamps whenever I can, just because of the Consuming Corruption. So gonna start by getting a swamp here. We have turn 2 Sneaky Snacker into Coatl / Ether Spike, so this is great. Great hand. It's possible I might want to get a second blue, though, just to give let me have a slightly more flexible start. Ooh, playing the blue-black mirror. Dream Drinker Vampire. All right. This is awkward just because they can adapt. So I think I attack. I actually don't know. I mean, I can force them to adapt, I guess. All right. Hopefully they play a 3-drop. Yes. Oh. Hydroelectric Specimen is not bad. How do I want to do this? So I can force them to adapt and then double block. Something like that. Yeah, that's not bad. If they have Wither and Bloom, it's still not that bad. Also, this trade is not something that I generally want to do. I'm going to get a blue here. I'm going to play this untapped. All right, what you got? It's fine. They've lost the ability to give this menace, which is good for us. If they kill my Snacker, I can redirect it to the Specimen. So a lot of options here. It does feel like they might have a counterspell, so I don't know about this Unfathomable Truths. Maybe I just play this out. Yeah, I'm just going to play this out. I think just having a 1/4 body on this board is nice. I don't think the redirect is going to be particularly good. If they use a removal spell here, we can always Ether Spike still. Wither and Bloom certainly changes the equation here. Yeah, let's do that. This puts a lot more pressure on them. The question is, do I want to use Wither and Bloom on the Dream Drinker Vampire or keep up the Ether Spike? Now that they kind of tied up my mana, I don't think I have a choice here. I think I just block and let them gain to 3 to keep up Ether Spike for 3. I think that's more valuable. And it's because they play the removal spell, right? Glasswing Grace. Oh my gosh. What can they do for 1 blue? Yikes. All right. Things going well for us. I'm going to cast this now. Well, actually, no. It's just better to keep up the Ether Spikes at this point. We're so far ahead now on board, right? To their Tempest Harvester. They're at 7, we're at 15. No point even putting the Witherbloom counter. Although putting the Witherbloom counter does turn this into a 2-turn clock. Dreamtide Whale. Sure. Emrakul's Messenger. They get to proliferate. So the question now is, do I want to play Unfathomable Truths or do I just want to counter this? I think I just want to play Unfathomable Truths. I just feel like it's going to just get me what I need. All right. How do I want to do this? Deem Inferior on the Dreamtide Whale seems pretty nice. Putting a counter on Hopeender Coatl also seems nice. No, I kind of want to keep up my counter spells, I think. We're just so far ahead. Well, you know what? Actually, let's just do this. Yeah, this is fine. Let's just do this. And attack with both. And I don't need to cast Eviscerator's Insight. Let's just put it that way. This thing doesn't fly, right? Okay. Yep. I'm at 15 life. Like, I don't really care about this Dreamtide Whale very much. Like, we can just win with this Hopeender Coatl, and then we can also just get the Sneaky Snacker back later. I just feel like I'm so far ahead. Let's just keep up Counterspell, right? That's kind of where I'm at. Boom. There we go. 2-0. They got the rares. We got the cheap interaction. I don't know. I didn't have anything clever here. My brain is still kind of scrambled right now. I'm shocked I'm actually able to record here and have it all function. When I first moved in, the internet just straight up didn't work. And I was panicking because I only had videos made till the 4th of July. And I came here, I was like, oh my gosh, is the cable guy gonna get it done? And he did. Gave him a nice little tip. Thank you, Cox Communications cable person. All right, on the play. Ooh, why did I keep this? I was too busy giving props. Uh-oh. This hand's terrible. I should have mulliganed this hand. 3 Unfathomable Truths. Okay. This hand is horrible. Do I just get a swamp with this? I think so. I feel like I need my Consuming Corruptions to be good right now because I just do nothing forever. Well, good thing our opponent's also doing nothing forever. Oh my gosh, I thought there was like some crazy stifle effect here. Oh, I would be so sad. I mean, Planar Genesis is certainly good here. Oh, hey, we set up for the corruption. There we go. Deep analysis. Okay, okay. We're playing that game? I can play that game, and we drew 2 lands in a row. Hey, this is not looking terrible, but they're playing Eldrazi, so it is scary, right? Because they can just play ginormous things and make a bunch of spawns every single time, but we're going to be able to keep up. We have some spot removal. We have triple Unfathomable Truths. Unlikely. We'll see if this... Oh my gosh. Our opponent's dirtling harder than we are. I can't help it. I have to give them the nice. This is amazing. This is actually a really good ramp start, and it's an incredible hand against us specifically. Oh, they have to discard? Love it. 3, 4, 5. All right. They discarded Eldrazi Ravageur. All right, they're gonna play a landscape for sure. Yeah, what'd I say? They're gonna... Who's gonna deck themselves, me or my opponent? Oh, better fetch and get more value! All right. Flare of Malice was a pretty good draw here. Do I just do this and crack to get another swamp? Just to thin out my deck? I can also put this on top, but I think they're just going to draw it again. And I'm one land away from consuming corruption. I don't know if that was right. Just because I have the corruption that could have killed it. But hey, we're going to have 6 swamps. That should be able to kill most things. They have access to 7 mana here. Okay. It that heralds the end is not that big of a deal. Snapping Voidcraw is also not that big of a deal. Oh, they're just going off. They are going off. Okay, well, they have this Eldrazi Ravager, so it's kind of awkward if I use a removal spell. I mean, I still might. I kind of want to kill the Voidcraw. All right. And let's just start adding to the board here before we just start drawing a million cards. We have Fell the Profane to kill a big thing. And then we also have Unfathomable Truths into Deem Inferior. So we're going to also be able to dig and find a lot of cards. So I just wanted to kill the card that actually generates them card advantage, because that's kind of our route to victory, right? Just by getting ahead on cards. And this is the card that lets him get ahead on cards. Is it Chris? Everybody hates Chris? Titan's Vanguard? Drownyard Lurker? Yeah, it could be any number of things. Twisted Riddle Keeper. Ooh, that's fantastic. Okay, sure. Yep. All right, so we're going to take a 3 here. And we have access to 7 mana. One, two, three, four. Okay, 5, 6, 7. 5. All right. I'm going to pass. I'm not sure if this is correct, though, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Actually, I could have just Unfathomable Truths now. But I'm going to be a little bit reactive here and see what they do. My plan is to cast Unfathomable Truths and then cast Fell the Profane on the Twisted Riddle Keeper after blocking with both of my creatures. All right. Got that one down. The Meddler blocks It That Heralds the End. We have some discard stuff. Glaring Fleshraker is fantastic. I need to get rid of that one immediately. Depth Defiler too. Whoo! Okay. Yeah, they are going off. This is just a whole lot of action. A whole lot of action. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. I think I want... Oh, man, these It That Heralds the End. I think I need to play the Petrifying Meddler here. Tap down Depth Defiler because this is an excellent blocker. And then I'm going to go Royal Cartographer and land and keep up Ether Spike. And this lets me Ether Spike for 3. Unlikely to be able to counter anything, honestly, but it's a start. Now, the important thing here is for them to not have an answer to Petrifying Meddler. And they did. And so this is an absolute disaster. Their deck is incredible. And I still just like... I just always wonder, I'm like, how do people get decks like this still? You know? It's maddening. They have an incredible deck. We're dead. We're dead. Look at that. They played Linebreaker as well. GG's. I guess there's a world where we could have tried to deal with It That Heralds the End. The thing is, they just had way too much gas, and the power level of their deck was just significantly higher than ours. I think if we had a chance to unload everything, we could have gotten there, but they had too much mana, too many threats. We were out of gas. I just think it was going to be too tough. All right. On the play here, with 4 lands, not going to play Waterlog Teachings. Interested in casting that one if possible. What are we, 2-1? 1-1? Something like that? God, we were going to take so much damage that turn with Linebreaker. All right, hopefully this Hopeender Coatl gets them. Green-white. Green-white. Nyxborn Unicorn, sure. I think it's worth taking the 2 here. If they play a 2-drop, we let that happen, of course, and then we just play the Specimen. We'll play a Swamp, and then we pass. What can we get? A removal spell? Ideally, I can just counter something this turn. Does everybody play around Hopeender Coatl now? It looks like my opponent certainly is. All right, we don't care about Tempest Harvester very much. Okay, so why don't we get something here? Consuming Corruption does seem pretty good. Just as a way to get back our life. We already have an Unfathomable Truths. Refurbish Familiar is fine. I'm still just going to pass. They're stuck on land, so I feel like this Hopeender Coatl will likely be very, very good. Do I use the Corruption on the Nyxborn Unicorn? No. Because they have combat trick mana. If they pass this turn, that's really great for us. And given how they've sequenced things, like, we'll just do this. Yeah. It's going to be really hard for them to beat this. Like, the fact that they just passed, and now I have access to all of this, it's just a lot. We're still going to chill here. Get maximum value out of everything, right? The world is our oyster right now. We're up infinite mana. We have Ether Spikes. They need lands. So, like, this plan of just attacking me with unicorns is just not Not going to get it done. We even have Refurbished Familiar with Crabomination, which is pretty sick. All right. Is it now time to fire this off and just see what happens? You got me. You got me. Gosh, I just do not care about that at all. All right, let's play the Refurbished Familiar. Get a card out of their hand. Man, this Hydroelectric Specimen, just as a 1/4, doing some work here. We still have access to Ether Spike or Hopeender Coatl here. We're just taking it slow. I think our opponent's hand is just like filled with just jank. They're just all kinds of jank. And the thing is, their hand is filled with action because they discarded Rosecott Knight, right? So just slowly make it so that our opponent's the first one to blink in most instances, and then just try to work around things that way. Look at this. They're discarding Static Prisons, Jolted Awakes, Rosecott Knights. That means they just have all kinds of tricks here. All right. They really don't want to get coatled. Just keeping our life total high. And I think it's time. I think it's time. Jolted Awake or Strength of the Harvest. What do we have? We have nothing. So I guess we'll play Strength of the Harvest on this. Attack. Sure. I mean, +4/+4. 5/5, put +4/+4 on something. If they kill Crabomination, I can always flare. Although I might not want to do that anyways. Johnny fells the Godsire. Okay. We're so far ahead, this just absolutely does not matter. So I can block with the Dream Drinker Vampire here. They don't have any energy. We have Eviscerator's Insight for the Eldrazi spawn if we want. Can also just turn this into a 3/2, although that doesn't seem especially good. Thraben Charm. The question here is, do I want to go Eviscerator's Insight or Flare of Malice? Oh, I can kill their creature in response too. Like, what if I flare, sacrificing my Dream Drinker Vampire? That way my Crabomination gets to live. So they have to sack their Tempest Harvester probably, and then this takes 4 damage. And then I don't care about this Coatl. They've been playing around it forever. I'm just going to play Unfathomable Truths. Although it would be funny if they had their own Coatl. Dog Umbra? Sure. That's what Eviscerator's Insight's for. Just playing everything we can. All right. So we still have 5 cards in hand, and they have nothing. This is a great situation to be. Alright, I'm gonna just play this. They're at 10 life. Let's just start going to town here. 5, we have 8 mana, so I'm just gonna play this. Tap this down. Play another Coatl and just try to end the game. We have Hopeender Coatl plus Fell the Profane. So that's very, very good. Whatever they play, we're just gonna try to Coatl here. And this was just the classic blue-black control, right? Get ahead on cards and just bury your opponents. And that's what we did, right? Our opponent played things every turn. Sure, they missed a land drop, but they just weren't able to play anything that got them ahead on cards. They were looting and stuff, and we just got them very easily here. Boom, and game. All right, blue-black control. I'm liking this. I am liking this. So it's slight, you know, it's a departure from the normal playstyle of Conduit Goblin, Mandibular Kite, 3-drop, a Solstice Zealot into Scurry of Gremlins or whatever, right? All right, 3 and 1. 4 more? 4 more. Gosh, I love Unfathomable Insight. It's just so nice. Okay, Unfathomable Truths, rather. I love it so much, I don't even know the name of the card. This hand's kind of slow. We have lots of 2s. 2 islands and a swamp on the draw. I don't think I should mulligan that. Our opponent played Nesting Grounds. Good chance they're green-black, but maybe not. No, they're just playing it as a colorless land. That heralds the end from the opponent. And we drew Hopeender Coatl and a Scurrilous Sentry. So, a little bit scary here. We'll see what they do. They went Island, Mountain, Nesting Ground. So are they like blue-red Eldrazi? That's an unusual color combination. They're more likely to be Teamer without a green source. Solar Transformer, okay. Alright, well, I don't think it's worth it to deem inferior here. So I'm going to just keep up Hopeender Coatl and just hope I get lucky. I'm probably playing this no matter what, to be honest. I'm hoping that they tap out and play something here. It's a 3-3. That is a nice combo with Nesting Grounds, by the way. Yeah, I'm just going to play this out and just trade. And then probably bounce the Basking Brute Scale. Come on. But honestly, really, really heads up play by the opponent. Not choosing to play another copy of That Heralds the End. That was extremely heads up. So they can turn this into a 4-4 next turn if they want. I think I'm going to play Scurrilous Sentry. And what do I discard? Probably the Refurbished Familiar. Yeah. Card's okay, but right now we're kind of a little bit on the back foot here. Alright, well, we're going to certainly take this. Hopefully this Sentry finds us land number 5 so that we can play the Petrifying Meddler to try to stabilize. That's the plan here. Wumpus Aberration. Oof. Okay. Well, now we have a new target to tap down. I'm going to attack. Discard a Royal Cartographer. They can choose to double block. I don't think it'll be very good. Didn't find land number 5. That's really unfortunate. That's super unfortunate. Ugh. What do I do? I think I just have to cast this. I don't want to sack my Sentry either. So let's just do this now. Kill the Wumpus Aberration. Take a bunch of damage next turn. Was hoping to find a land off the Sentry. Now the Sentry is actually a good blocker for the Basking Brute Scale because it's a 4-5. Alright, so they're just doing some Nesting Ground shenanigans here. Maybe. What? They have 3 of these? Oh my gosh. We're just getting beat down by these Eldrazi decks. It's brutal. Alright, we're going to use this to stabilize. Let's tap down the Brute Scale. And I am not attacking here. God, they hit so hard. Triple It That Heralds the End, Wumpus Aberration, all kinds of stuff. It looks like they might be out of gas and they're doing the Basking Brute Scale trick with Nesting Grounds and It That Heralds the End. Certainly good, but very slow. It's like every turn you're making a spawn, right? If that's the best you can do, I think I'm okay. Do I Unfathomable Truths to find a blue source for Demon Inferior? Yeah. Let's find a blue source. Nice! It was the last card. Alright, let's bounce the 4/4 It That Heralds the End so that they won't. The Brute Scale is still a 4/4. We have plenty of blockers here, so we're still not going to do anything here. But I think that was hopefully enough to give us some reprieve, right? We were able to refill our hand, put a chump blocker, and bounce the It That Heralds the End, which I do think is quite nice. No removal here. Well, we do have a Cursed Marauder, and no matter what, it's going to get a pretty decent card because it's non-token, so I do like that as well. They have infinite mana, so Ether Spike is not going to be particularly good. Wow, Deep Analysis into It That Heralds the End. Ouch. Well, if they do that, I mean, it depends on how they attack. Like, I'm happy enough double blocking here. We'll see how they attack, right? If they attack with the Brute Scale, this is a very easy double block because I want to stop that Nesting Grounds combo anyways. All right. Hey, I'm fine with that, honestly. Okay. Drew another land here. That's great. Let's go Marauder. Get rid of an It That Heralds the End. I don't know that we're going to be able to counter anything. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. But I'm probably going to just try to cast another Unfathomable Truths here. And also leave up Hope Ender Coatl / Ether Spike. I am able to counter something unless they pay 3 mana, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there is that. Well, never mind. It's just the Repurposer. I can't counter that at all. All right, It That Heralds. All right, Unfathomable Truths. Find us some action. Snapping Voidcraw. Can't counter that either. Goodness. Wow, what a whiff that was. Ether Spike, Swamp, Contaminated Landscape. Ugh. I guess I'll play this to thin out my deck. And I will pass. No. I'll play a Dream Drinker Vampire. I can turn this into a 3/2 lifelinker, which can be very, very relevant. Because this is a pretty dangerous board. This is a pretty dangerous board. They have so much mana. Petrifying Meddler. I can't do anything about that. We're at 7 life. How would you like to do this? Okay, so I can turn this into a 3/2, but they can prevent the life gain. But I think I'm going to do it anyways. And then I can block the biggest creature and sack that to cast Unfathomable Truths. That's fine. And hopefully this one finds us something. Oh, we found some stuff. All right. There we go. Crabomination, Fell the Profane, and Flare of Malice. Okay, let's go. I think it's time. I think it's Crabomination time. I can't really... I don't have any artifacts to emerge. So I guess I just sack this. All right. Let's get back into this. Let us get back into this. We're at 3 life. Let's see what we get. What's your last card in your hand? What have you been sandbagging? Oh, Depth Defiler. Wow. You may cast. So Depth Defiler, I can't cast kicked. I probably just want to get Warped Tusker, right? Just a 6/8. Yes. Yes, please. All right, that was good. That was great. We have Ether Spikes for days. They're at 13 life. Can't do anything about that. Probably want to sack one of these spawns and just cast like Fell the Profane or Flare of Malice. Maybe it's Fell the Profane. They have a Snapping Voidcraw, which they can use to draw cards. Do I want to kill that? I don't know. I do have to be like, I'm at 3 life. It's not like I'm killing them, right? Quickly. So this could be a horrific assault. Oh, all in? Is that an all in? Certainly looks like it. Wait a second. That was an all in. Oh, yes. That sure was an all in, wasn't it? Oh, yes. We got them. Nice. They had a really, really solid Eldrazi deck. But yeah, they went all in on that Hydra. Oof. And those counterspells still ended up being relevant. Okay, 4-1. Let's keep it going. Why don't we start the first draft of the new house with a trophy? Why don't we do that? Okay. Island, Swamp, Wither and Bloom on the draw. I feel like Island, Swamp, Wither and Bloom, any 4 random cards I'm keeping. So I'm going to keep this. Certainly need more lands. We have 18 lands in our deck. We have a Hopeender Coatl if we draw land number 3. Consuming Corruption is great if we can draw another Swamp. So I feel like this is an easy keep. This is interesting though. I just drew Waterlogged Teachings and I have a Wither and Bloom in my hand. Do I want to play Waterlogged? Because it's unclear if they're going to play a creature next turn. I'm just going to play the Teachings. Like, I know there's a high chance they play a creature next turn, but I feel like the upside of being able to cast Hopeender Coatl is very, very high. Skittering Ooh, I need to kill that though. Let's just kill that. All right, we drew 1 land, which was the Waterlogged Teachings, but they had a landscape in play with the precursor, so I don't want them to go nuts. Oh, and they had a Windswept Teeth. They could have got 2 spawns. So wanted to use that Wither and Bloom immediately. What are they getting with the Windswept? Is it going to be Writhing Chrysalis? Oh, that would be so bad. Because I could have Hopeender Coatled it. I could have Hopeender Coatled this too. Path of Annihilation is just an unreasonable Magic card, I will say. Oh, why did I play that land? I am a silly goose. I am the silliest goose in all the land. All right, that's not going to prevent me from still like changing from doing what I was supposed to do. What I needed to do was play my World Cartographer first, so I should have 1 energy here. But anyways, by killing a spawn, I'm just killing a mana creature and basically cutting out 2 mana. So I do think it's worth it to use my small creature removal on that. Like I said, I should have 1 energy here. That was the misplay. We'll see if it ends up hurting us. Oh gosh. What, the Guide of Souls? What goes for? Oh my gosh. Well, at least they can't wait, they can play Guide of Souls. They can play Guide of Souls and then get 2 spawn. Oh my gosh. Our Wooded Foot. They get 2 energy. Oh my gosh. Well, this is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. All right, let's do this, and let's just go for Crabomination Emerge here as our game plan. Sundering Eruption is the discard from the opponent. I can crack the landscape. I don't know if getting another swamp matters anymore, so I'm probably just going to get islands now, because I have 3 black sources and 2 blue. I don't think I have a way to recur the corruption. Man, this energy might matter. Ay, ay, ay. Well, hopefully they're out of action. What did they discard? Sundering Eruption? No, that means they still have 2 spells in their hand, and they have infinite mana. They have access to 11 mana next turn. So Emerge 7 minus 4. So this costs 3 mana. If I draw a land, I can even play the Coatl, although this Coatl is never countering anything. Oh my gosh, I could have countered that! Ugh. Unreal. No, I couldn't have countered that. Never mind. I couldn't have countered that. They had the spawns, of course. All right, we take 7. It might just be better to play Petrifying Meddler, honestly, just to buy a little more time. It's a 7/8, so... yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Unfathomable Truths into Deem Inferior would be nice. Oof. They got some power in their deck for sure. A nice green-red Eldrazi deck, Splashing Guide of Souls. We certainly have power as well. I mean, this Crabomination can obviously be potentially ridiculous. The thing is, I feel like they would have played the biggest thing in their hand already, right? So they did the Nyxborn Hydra. What else are they working with here? Is it just removal? Is it... could be any number of things, really. How do I kill the Hydra? I need to get rid of the Hydra. Deem Inferior, I guess, would be a way. Infernal Captor. The heck? Okay, I guess they can steal my Meddler? And attack me for 4? Okay. That's fine, I guess. Oh, it'd be so funny if they grew it. Oh, man. All right. Look, they were going to play this anyways, and they got me for 4. Sure. They probably don't have a way to sacrifice this. That would be pretty crazy. Ral in the Implicit Maze. Oh, man, my familiar! My Crabomination plan! My Crabomination plan! Come on! And this thing tramples? Ugh, man. We should have 4 energy now. All right. Anyways, let's keep the Meddler back. They have so much power. It's just going to be really, really hard. I just feel like we've been on the back foot the entire time. And I just currently don't have an answer for a 7/8 reach trample. I can double block. They discarded Nyxborn Hydra? Are you kidding me? Why? I guess it was... oh my... what is in your hand? All right, you know what? It's okay. We can still rattle off 3 in a row after this loss. Ah... yep, that'll do. That'll do. Creatures without flying can't block. Good beats. Our opponent has solid deck. Solid deck. No shame in just losing to a solid deck with a solid draw. The me choosing there, it was honestly just like the tap lane, just like it just playing the Waterlog Teachings, right? Because I could have Hopeender Coatl the Path of Annihilation, and that would have just completely changed the way that game played out, but it is what it is. 4 Swamps, a Cursed Marauder, Wither and Bloom, and Hopeender Coatl. I will keep. We have a couple of early pieces of interaction. Would love to find a blue source for the Coatl. We found a blue source for the Coatl. Let's just go with the Marauder here on the Terramander. I like having Wither and Bloom and Hopeender Coatl as instant speed things to do on turn 3. So this is why I'm choosing to do this. I will take the 2 here and then just go with a Wither and Bloom end of turn because I want to open the door for a Hopeender Coatl to deal damage or to counter something. Like if they play a Solstice Zealot or this, perfect. There we go. Counter that. And then we can Wither and Bloom the... ooh. Maybe we just do that? No. I'm just going to kill this, and I'm just going to pump my Hopeender Coatl. Great use of our mana here. Boom. We have a 3/3 flyer. It countered something. Killed a 3/2 Hex Gold Slith. Put a counter. If they kill this, it's not that bad. We already got something out of the deal anyways. And we still have Demon Inferior. Distinguished Conjurer. Interesting. Don't care too much about that card. And we drew the perfect card. Unfathomable Truths here is absolutely bananas. Allowing us to refill, if you will. They probably, I mean, this deck, they probably have a good deck with the Distinguished Conjurer. Let's see what they choose to do here. Right, they're just, yep, Servo makes sense. They have access to, they have 2 cards. It looks like a Bone Splinters or whatever. Lethal Throwdown, sure. All right, you know, that's great. But we get to load up, I believe. Oh, that was all good stuff. Okay. The question is, am I interested in killing the Distinguished Conjurer, or do I not care for now? I don't think I care for now, because I do have Fel the Profane. So what I want to do here is just cast Waterlogged Teachings for another Unfathomable Truths, and just get super ahead on cards. If their plan is to just blink their Inspired Inventor, that's fine for us. Here they play a Wormcoil Larva, so I do think I'm just going to go ahead and counter that. They don't really want to attack me because I have Sneaky Snacker, and things are looking phenomenal for us. Consuming Corruption is nice. Why don't we just use that on the Conjurer, and then go with Waterlogged Teachings here? Because we can go Teachings, get Unfathomable Truths, and then play Demon Inferior for 1. Is this a Glasswing Grace? Undo Not Master. Turns that into a 4/4. And a Proud Pack Rhino. Proliferate. Shield counter. Okay, well, we can just Demon Inferior that, so let's let that happen. We'll take 4. Let's just get more cards. Just teachings for teachings, right? It's got a similar feel to it here. Actually, that's probably just better. Certainly did not mean to tap this way, but it's fine. Yep. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfathomable Truths. All right, Demon Inferior here. I have 18 cards. Whatever. Let's attack with... do it? No. Let's just attack with the 2/1 here. And pass. Probably just getting a blue source here because I already cast my Consuming Corruption. Dog Umbra. Okay. I'm just going to take the 5 here. It's fine. Oh, this thing has lifelink, doesn't it? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. I don't think it matters that much in general. Hex Gold Slith is the play from the opponent. And it's time to get Crabominable. Well, that was the least impressive Crabomination, I will say. But it's still fine. We'll keep up Ether Spike, just why not? In case they play their own Crabomination or a Sweeper. And then we can play the Scurrilous Sentry next turn. And yeah, our plan is to just win with the Flyer here. I guess we can also attack with Crabomination. Oh, I don't have white mana! Okay, anyways, let's attack like this. Sure. Let's kill this. Let's do that. Let's play Scurrilous Sentry. Gain a life. Discard Eviscerator's Insight. Actually, I could have probably discarded the Royal Cartographer, to be honest. But it doesn't matter. Way too far ahead on cards there. And we are now sitting at 5-2, I believe. All right, so a lot of good interactive games. The blue-black games are fun because it feels like you're kind of behind the entire time, and then you turn things around, right? You cast Unfathomable Truths, you cast another Unfathomable Truths, and then all of a sudden you've killed everything, and you've got a dinky 2/2 flyer in play to kind of get the job done. So, no matter what happens, still profited on gems, so can never be unhappy rather about that. And now this is certainly a keeper. Foreboding Landscape, 2 islands, Ether Spike, Hopebender, Coatl, Petrifying Meddler. This hand would be amazing on the play, because we can go turn 2 Spike, turn 3 Coatl. Just debating whether or not I want to play this Waterlogged Teachings. I'm not. I'm just going to play this and go get a Swamp. Because I can go Spike into Coatl. And if I draw a couple lands in a row, if I draw a couple lands, like this will be my turn 4 play. If I draw a couple lands in a row, then I want to cast this. Oops, I don't want to do that. I sure hope they don't pump the Brood Scale. That would be awful for me. Wow, they didn't even pump? What is happening? Yeah. Oh, maybe I should have played... See, this is one of those instances where it's just like, yep, should have played the Teachings turn 1. Right? This is such a different game if I'm on the play. It's so crazy. Writhing Chrysalis. Alright, we're going to have to Ether Spike that. They get a couple of spawns, but their deck is amazing. They have a Writhing Chrysalis. Look at this. I used my counterspell, but it doesn't matter. They're still in good shape. I'm going to play this. Just because I need land number 5 to be able to cast Petrifying Meddler. I also have a Crabomination that I want to cast, so... Hopebender Coatl is just going to get cast here. Maybe it'll get them to sack a spawn. What if they just play like a Breaker of Creation? You know what I mean? Alright, whatever. I was hoping they would try to play something else, but I'm just going to play this just to have something in play. Ooh, that's actually really interesting. A Cursed Marauder. I wonder what they're going to sacrifice. I think I still just want to tap down the Snapping Voidcraw here, though. Oh, that's interesting. I can Cursed Marauder and Flare of Malice. No, because then I still have to sack the Hopebender Coatl. Alright. Actually, they already had access to a bunch of mana. I don't know. Whatever. Let's tap the Voidcraw and attack. Alright, they have access to 8 mana here. Great looking Teamer Shell here. We have access to Flare of Malice to kill something big. 1 land draws us Abomination, or excuse me, Crabomination. Twisted Riddle Keeper. Yikes. That is incredible. Okay. Wow. Alright, alright, alright. Well, I think we are going to do the line that I talked about before, which is play Cursed, because I don't have double black. I'm going to play Cursed Marauder and use Flare of Malice to sack the Marauder so that they sack the Riddle Keeper. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter how I do this, because I'm just going to sack the Coatl anyways. Yeah, okay. All right, let's play the Contaminated Landscape and pass. This lets us take the least amount of damage by saving the Flare. Definitely want to just get another black source here. But I will cast a Flare here and sack the Marauder just to stay at a high life total. They still have access to 4 cards in hand. So Crabomination, you got to be great here for us. And I know that it will. I know that it will be. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. They already played Riddle Keeper. That was probably the best big thing that they had in their hand. Now we're going to probably see some Warped Tuskers or stuff like that. Ooh, Colossal Dreadmask. Also very, very good and very, very annoying. All right, hopefully we can hit Riddle Keeper off this Crabomination. What's in their graveyard? Yeah. All right. Crab time. Crab time. Riddle Keeper? Come on. No! Basking Brute Scale, come on. Oh, wait! They had one in hand! Oh, that's great! Let's tap this and the Void Craw. Wow. That was amazing. Okay. Let's attack. And this is actually a lethal attack. If they don't play anything. That's wild. What's the last card? Oh, it's a Drownyard Lurker. Darn. Okay. So we can't really attack with our ground critters. Because they have a 7/7. Damn. Okay, I guess we'll just attack with the 5/5 flyer here. And I will play Dream Drinker Vampire and pass. Man, their hand was just loaded. Great deck. Double Riddle Keeper, Chrysalis, Void Craw, just all the Eldrazi cards. And a Path of Annihilation. I'm going to say it again. How are people getting these decks? Maybe people are just sick of drafting Eldrazi and it's just like a cycle. It's like, you know, Eldrazi is so overdrafted, I'm going to avoid Eldrazi. And then the person was just like, well, Eldrazi is the best thing. I'm just going to keep doing it. They still just get rewarded. I played against like 4 Eldrazi decks in this gauntlet. $13-13. That's a lot of damage. I can't even kill it. 5, 9, 10, 11, 12? Goodness. I guess we do this. I guess we just block here. Alright, we're at 1. Bountiful Landscape. Okay. I think I cast Eviscerator's Insight on the Dream Drinker Vampire here. And try to find an answer for the Lurker. Flare of Malice is amazing. Oh, that is really good. Okay. That is really, really good. Alright, let's still attack with our flyer. Yeah, this lets us kill the Drownyard Lurker. That's amazing. Although, unless they move it, right? If they move it, it's really bad. So, this honestly comes down to what they choose to do with the Lurker. If they move it to their spawn, or they're snapping Void Craw, we lose. Okay, them choosing to sack the spawn is good here, I think, for us. Alright, a lot of this comes down to what they choose to do with the Dread Mask. If they move it over to the Void Craw, we lose. Are you kidding me? Twisted Riddle Keeper number 3? Twisted Riddle Keeper number 3 off the top. We're at 1 life. We had a lethal attack next turn. That's incredible. That's incredible. I don't know that there's something I can do here. I can counter it, but I can't counter the ability. That's so sick. That's ridiculous. Oh, well, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles. Every now and then, you just run into a bunch of good Eldrazi decks. Our opponent certainly had one of them. Crabomination tried its hardest, and we tried our best. But sometimes the Eldrazi decks are inevitable. I thought we had a solid deck. Absolutely, right? We had the card draw, we had solid removal, a decent curve. I will say the Ether Spikes and the counterspell effects were certainly very, very weak here, only because our opponents were all playing Eldrazi. I think our three losses might have been to Eldrazi decks, and you know that's where effects like this certainly get worse, especially in decks that don't generate as much energy. But like I said, I thought this deck was still sweet. Crabomination was probably the most important card, of course, to help us close out games, but this is kind of how the blue-black deck plays out. We still got 5 wins. Right? We were still just able to try to keep pace with what the opponents are trying to do. I think the blue-black decks are very, very good against probably the aggressive decks, right? You're just like, all right, they're playing things, and you're just like, a lot of cheap interaction and then play Unfathomable Truths and win the game. And I think we still probably struggle against the really, really top end Eldrazi decks just because so many of their casts are come into play triggers. I still think we have a chance, but against very, very good versions, maybe I need to rely less on the counter spells and rely more on just hard removal if I can get it. But we didn't see that much. We got a couple of Flare Malices. We didn't see any Breathe Your Last, but all in all, still thought this was a fun deck. Went 5-3 and hoping we can get better finishes and still on the lookout for our first trophy in our new humble abode. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed the content and wanted to support the channel in another way, I do have a Patreon channel, patreon.com/paulcheon. Get you access to the Discord, check out the tiers and the membership benefits. They're all there, link in the description below. Additionally, this video is brought to you by tcgplayer.com. If you want to pick up any TCG singles, check them out. If you do want to do some shopping for trading cards, make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before you do. And finally, if you do want to pick up premium Magic the Gathering supplies, check out heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.